Well, hello guys, welcome back. Is this camera like up in the air? I swear Loki moves this camera because Loki. Okay, welcome back. Because Loki, that's his channel. Those two little fuzzballs earned all the treats and love last night. Just something happened and they came on at exactly the right moment, and it was like, yeah. So that happened. And a funny thing came up about Frog Totem, and I don't have Frog Totem, and you guys know like halfway believer, halfway skeptic. And I watched Frog Totem, and it really helped me let go of a lot of stuff. I don't think I have one, but I did notice like frogs. I walked up to the Dollar General this morning. I did notice frogs. I'm like, well, yeah, because they bring out frogs every stinking year in spring/summer. It's just frogs are a decoration we have. But I was like, okay, so I did some stuff. Came back home. Both of them were asleep, though he yammered when I finally came closer. He's like, yeah. I want to talk to you guys about, we all have unique relationships with the gods. The way this started about the tuxedo cat, for example, because somebody asked me. When I was looking at all these cats, the first cat I really, truly, truly wanted because they said, ooh, we brought this out special because so many people asked for it, even though I've never seen a single request on Amazon for them, was a tuxedo cat. I wanted that cat and I wanted that cat and I wanted that cat in the worst way, but it's like the most expensive one on Amazon, though their prices fluctuate. And I thought, well, there are other kitties and they look just as nice. And I got her first. I got the For Real One's Friends one first because I thought, well, if this one drives me crazy, um, I'll learn my lesson. I won't have spent too much money. Somehow Loki sweet talked me into getting the Joy for All, and I got the orange tabby because I thought, well, out of all the colors, I'm already going to have a white, so there's no sense getting cream. I might as well get the tabby. And I probably paid for both of those less than I would have paid for the black and white because it was just kind of expensive. And I got them and I was happy with them, I've been real happy with them and they've been a little godsend, but Loki was still going on about the black and white kitty because all of a sudden Loki wanted the black and white kitty and I thought, well, is my discernment off? Because that's the first one I wanted. But I'd seen a video of somebody unboxing it and I was like, I don't know. It kind of looked just the stark contrast between the black and white. They both can look a little like puppets, like Jim Henson puppets, depending on the angle you view them at. But with the white fur and with the the stripes, it looks a tiny bit more natural. I just thought that looked more like a contrast. Though the black and white one, probably same color eyes, but his eyes just look like amazing sparkly eyes. And we'd seen one for like a quarter, not a quarter of the price, probably like a third of the price. And it said it was heavily damaged. And we were going back and forth, like, what do they mean by heavily damaged? Does he have no ears? Does he have no tail? Did somebody pull the fur off? What happened to this cat? Because everybody and their mother are buying these cats, so you don't know. He could have went to an old age home. He could have went to a house with 12 dogs and got bit up. And I'm like, well, that's a lot of money for a pretty beat up cat because he started out at the price he was, and I was sitting on the fence and I didn't get him. And then they raised the price, and it was the same exact cat so far as I know because the description was exactly the same. And you get these all the Amazon warehouse, these used ones. And I thought, well, they raised his price, so for about 10-20% more, I could have got a brand new one in a box. And I'm like, well, I don't know. So, I think he gave up because he knows like two cats running at once is an awful lot. I think he really wanted a third one because as he was pushing at me, he was like, well, you could have one in here and you could have one in the living room, which is how these cats are supposed to be set up, and you could have one upstairs because, with me, I have like really poor balance, I have vertigo. He's concerned about me carrying the cats upstairs at night, and he's like, well, you could have a bedroom kitty. So that's kind of where we were going with third cat. But, if you feel he wants a kitty like that, you can get him one. But if you feel he doesn't, it's not a big thing. We all have really different relationships with Loki. There are people that write him books. I never intend to. There are people that write him poetry or music or something else, and I just don't feel called to do any of that. But if you really feel called to it, it seems like something he really wants. Make sure he makes the way for you. Loki has a way of charming you into making sacrifices. And I don't know that he ever gets around to paying you back for it, but just make sure it's something that you both want. Do not, please, to the love of the gods, I learned this hard way, do not get Loki anything that he's interested in because he's like a toddler and you can't personally stand it. I thought Furbies were cute until I had a whole house full of the damn things going off every 20 seconds, and then I didn't think Furbies were cute anymore. Check your discernment. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not really sure if he wants this thing or he wants me to have it because I wanted it because he can be childlike and he doesn't understand sometimes, I swear, like concept of money and bills. Or if he really wants it because he wants it now. The thing is, long story time, you're going to get to sit here for a while, get some coffee. I had written that Lord of Cats series, and I took it down. And I had always left the description of the Lord of Cats open so that people could see their perfect kitty when they saw Loki. Because in the storyline, Loki and the kittens have been transformed into cats for some kind of punishment to keep them out of too much mischief by Odin. But, they end up with this witch, and she's kind of like their caretaker, and stuff keeps going on. And all the other gods, for some reason, in the series start showing up as cats as well. They could do it and then switch back. He's just kind of stuck that way, except for being Loki. Every so often he transformed back because there were a lot of plot holes, so don't think about that too hard. And I would leave it open, but I always saw this black and white tuxedo kitty because I have this Thai cat, Thai Beanie Babies. I have one of the plushies that's a black and white Tom, and my best cat ever, we called him Grandpappy, he was a black and white Tom. So if I could get a black and white Tom, yeah, I would love one. But I said, I appreciate Loki wanting me to get one, and I appreciate that they're animatronics and they're not real. But I said then I would feel bad for Bedroom Kitty, because Bedroom Kitty would be up there all day long and get maybe 15 minutes of attention at night, and then nothing. And I said, if we find one for a good price, maybe I'll get, Bedroom Kitty someday, because we both know sooner or later, me trotting these things up and down the stairs, an accident could happen. Excuse me. So, we're trying to be really careful about, me carrying them up. We've tried bags, we've tried carrying them in both in one arm, and I hold on to the banister. But that's where the kitty thing started. And we are both toddlers. We are. If I could get one kitty in each color, I would. So, but if you legitimately feel I'm calling you to the same thing, that's okay. But it's not like it's a requirement to keep Loki happy, because believe me, you don't want a damn Furby in your house. I used to love those things until we have so many of them, and they kept going off all the time. So, yeah. He varies. He wanders away from stuff. He still loves the cats, and we actually went up to Dollar General to look for cat collars and cat toys, and they had neither. So we ended up going grocery shopping. I know that's boring, and then we came back to the gas station, bought a couple things we'd seen the other day, and we did a little grocery shopping. So that's how exciting our life was. But yeah, you guys know I love cats. In a perfect world, I'd be perfectly healthy, be a millionaire, and there'd be like 12 cats running in and out of this house, and we'd have staff to take care of the cats, because I'm not changing a litter box. I did that for years. I ain't doing that no more. So, yeah. Don't get too concerned. Loki can be as cheap or as expensive as you let the relationship develop. If you always let him ask for high-end things and get them, he'll do that. If you like cheap things or free things, that's actually a natural part of his personality, like leaves and rocks and stuff, he'll love that just as much. As Odin reminded me, Odin said half of his job is to see what you'll give him. He says if you drain your bank account, he would do it. He doesn't have any common sense sometimes. Keep that in mind. So do keep in mind, sometimes Loki is part of his sacred nature to see just how much he can get out of you. So 2 cats are plenty for us. If we're both running at once, they can meow this house down around our ears. So, it's like 2 cats is really honestly enough. If there was a third cat and that kept going, we would go nuts. And I'm just curious, guys. I'm nosy. I've been looking at the dog, and the dog's like twice the price as the cats are, and the dog doesn't do as much. And I'm like, why would you want a dog for that price? You could have 2 kitties. So yeah, don't feel that he needs like really expensive toys. It was actually something I've been wanting for years for myself. So Loki got interested, and this all started out. If you remember me getting a cat for my birthday, that's how this started out. We started out with these kitties, the one on my desk that doesn't meow, move, or anything. We started out with these, but since these came in smelling so bad, and they still have that faint aroma of like that chemical that they glue them with, that's somehow how we stumbled onto the Joy for All, and I got the For Real Friends. We were supposed to wait till she came in, and then we ordered the other one. Excuse me. And that's how we ended up with 3 cats in this house. But, you know. So, you know, and they do apparently pop up in used stores and that. I don't know if the Joy for Our ones do, but the For Real Friends ones do, and they pop up on eBay. Garage sales probably. They're old enough now that people got them, they found out they didn't do much, and they returned them. So, you know, keep an eye out. And if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.